Aggro Token Druid is still pretty top tier even after the nerfs, and honestly, nobody was doubting that. In this video I'm gonna give you a quick updated guide about this list, talk about mulligans, win rates, and general tips, so you guys have a better idea of what you could be doing with and against it. So I hope you enjoy the guide, and if you do, a like and subscribe would be great. But now, let's check out the deck.
You are not prepared!
Here's the list up close, and nothing really has changed much about this one. The only difference from the list I showed you not too long ago would be the long neck egg, and this is the list I showed you on the latest top 5, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it's definitely pretty powerful, maybe one of the best, if not the best decks for easy legend right now. What is this deck trying to do? Well, basically you zerg out the board with a bunch of tokens, and then you start buffing, and for the most part, a lot of opponents stop kicking right after that, but you could actually go even long games, or at least longer games, in the mid-range, because you have ways to refill the board over and over again and buff it out of proportion till the opponent stops kicking. We have several different ways of buffing the board with things like Forest Gift, Hatchery Helper, Overheat, and you could make the board sticky with things like Wildwood Circle, and you have big bump turns with the help of Wicker Fang, and I gotta say the Ravenous Flock is absolutely amazing, especially followed up with big buffs. Going through the cards, we have ourselves a couple of innervates, so you can be doing things a little bit quicker and more efficient, and so you could be doing bigger, better boards in a single turn. The Living Roots helps you go nice and wide, and in some cases you could be using it for damage, but for the most part getting yourself a couple of 1/1s would be worth it, and don't forget this is a nature spell for potentially Overheat. Playtosaur is also in here, but you don't normally want to be playing it early on, you want to play it when you can actually play whatever the hell you top deck out of him. So turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, that kind of stuff could be a little bit better, because this deck can be lacking the card draw later on. Twilight Egg could be an excellent turn 1 for you, so it's nice and sticky on the board, so you can keep on buffing it later on. With Wave Shaping, you get to pick what you're going to be getting, and you also are going to know what's at the bottom of your deck so you don't look forward to it. Couple of Fellwood Treants in here, with which you could be gaining yourself permanent mana, but in some case you might just tempo it for the sake of getting yourself a 1 mana 2/2, so you can actually do a bigger, better board again. Horn of Plenty is going to be giving you plenty indeed, and you could discover all sorts of different amazing things, including buffs, but also a free mana Trees could be amazing for you, summoning 4 2/2 Treants to target an enemy minion. That way usually you're left with a couple, if not more, Treants to actually have a good board on. The Long Neck Egg is also pretty powerful. It's basically a 2 mana 4/6 because the opponent usually wants to kill this thing nice and quick, but if they don't, it's even worse for them because then you get to buff it, and once it dies you actually get to buff the rest of your board with +1/+1, so that can be pretty sick. The Ravenous Flock, like I said, is an absolutely amazing way to actually preemptively build yourself a board without the opponent having a chance to kill it. So you play this thing on turn 2, and on turn 3 you get to follow up with Hatchery Helper or Overheat, making these 2/1s into free health idiots, with 3 or 4 attack and with or without taunt. The Forest Gift, even at 3 mana, still pretty busted, but obviously it is going to be a little bit trickier for you to be pulling off bigger, better things, even though in one of the games you are actually going to see I forgot this thing got nerfed and I mismathed. Hatchery Helper, maybe one of the strongest cards in the deck, like when timed correctly, this thing can really make or break games. Making your minions with +2 health and taunt is actually pretty amazing and makes the board a lot stickier and a lot harder for most opponents to deal with. Same can be said for Overheat, but don't forget this thing needs a nature spell to discard for it to actually give you the second +1/+1s. And the sucky part is Wildwood Circle is a nature spell, so if you have this thing in between Wildwood Circle, basically forget about unshattering it, unless you get very lucky and get some other nature spells to actually discard and get lucky with. The Panther Mask is also pretty good, giving you a lot of extra stats and stealth, and also drawing you a couple of cards. And don't forget, you could actually be using this on the opponent's taunt minions. My dumbass actually missed lethal in one of the games because I forgot about the stealth part, and I literally could have gone face, but my dumbass was like, yeah, nah. But another thing you could be using this thing for would be to actually buff yourself your Wicker Fang. Using this thing on the 1/3 is actually indeed gonna buff Wicker Fang as well. And also this thing does not transform the minion into a panther, it just gives it the stats, so you could be using it on a small minion and attack with it at the same turn. Sometimes just using it for the sake of giving stealth for one of your minions could also be pretty worth it, so you can actually potentially stick it. The Wildwood Circle is still pretty amazing even after the nerf, and usually you do want to be playing this thing unshattered, but in some cases it's just worth it to give the death rattle, so there's there's that too. With a Midrosil, this thing is gonna help you against the longer games where you need to actually build yourself a really big board in a single turn. So something like Spell Demon Hunter, you might actually want to take a step back for a leap forward kind of deal, like play this thing as soon as turn 5 and use it, and maybe on turn 7 spend all of that mana in the same turn so you can actually build a board they can't handle, even though that sounds easier said than done. And last but not least, we have Wicker Fang, which is definitely still way too strong, and I'm actually kind of surprised this card is not getting nerfed yet. Playing Wicker Fang, and if the opponent doesn't handle it, you get to buff it up with things like Hatchery Helper, Overheat, Forest Gift on one of the appendages so you can actually get the buff on Wicker Fang twice, and like I said, the Panther Mask can also work on the appendage so you can double up the stats. Matchup wise, here's what we have right now. Spell Demon Hunter and Face Hunter would be on the 50-50 side, and things like Herald Shaman might be problematic, but for the most part you should be climbing with ease. When going first on the mulligan phase, you are going to try and keep yourself a good curve, like both the eggs would be worth it, the Living Roots, the Ravenous Flock is amazing, the Fellwood Treant, if you already have the Flock holding on to Hatchery Helper would be amazing, keeping a Witchwood Circle, especially with cheap cards in between, would be worth it. In some cases, Innervate might be a good idea when you have Circle already in hand. The rest probably not so much though. On the coin, again, same deal, so mulligan accordingly. That's it for this deck. It's basically super cheap right now. The only legendary you need to be crafting would be Wicker Fang, but it's definitely pretty worth it because I'm pretty sure at some point this card is getting nerfed, like no question about it. But yeah, hope you found the guide helpful, and if you did, a like and subscribe would be great. But now let's check out some of my games on my road back to top 1000 legend with it. Hope you enjoy.
Let the hunt begin.
Fire does more than burn.
Well, that's pretty good hands. Turn 1, turn 2. Honestly, turn 3 with these, kind of fine. Let's keep it. How's it going, Strifen? Redeeming the flex. Here you go, brother. I don't know what you expected, but it's what we have left. It's fine. It'll have to do for now. It has seen better days, though. Pet taming, I see.
Welcome to the world.
I'd rather see what's in door number 2. This is pretty strong, man. This is way too strong. Gonna leave me with a couple.
A conundrum.
Let's do it like this then. Better get the egg on. Next turn, this plus that on the egg. Sounds to be right.
Come to me, friends.
Yeah, go get him, man. You get highly motivated all of a sudden. Okay, that's for next turn.
Return to the wild, my friend!
Hmm. Of the top people could get himself a proper 7-drop now. Goes for another Spirit Caretaker.
Come to me, friend.
And he does. Sad, but it's fine. Don't get another Rusher though. Gets another Rusher though. Doesn't do anything to Da Vinci with it. Do it, bitch. Somehow this is better, isn't it?
Tucked in nice and warm.
Stay back!
I don't think there were any wrong answers there. Really just gets us there. Bartender Bob, is that you?
Kneel before the strength of the wild.
Come closer, critters.
What are you hoping for, my guy? Quick Maps Hunters, am I right?
Well fought. I concede.
Quick Maps Hunter.
Leora!
Against the mage. That ought to be fun. Not for him, but, you know.
You shall pay for your insolence. Fire does more than burn.
Gotta find the buffage. No buffage to be found. Wow. The illusion of choice intensifies. Give me another mask off the top, why don't you? Take down the mask and give me another mask.
The day is yours.
Okay. Okay. A leyline mage, innit? That was a leyline mage. I'm pretty certain.
Leora versus the Thunder!
Dinku the Shaman. Shaman the Dinku.
This is not my first gorilla.
That's a hand,
Fire
but
does
I'm
more
looking
than
for
burn.
something more along the foot line. I require a foot here. Okay, that is a hand. Turn free that thing, with some egg action in between. Living Roots wouldn't mind it. Turn free, monster collection. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious me. What have I done to deserve this? Turn 2 this, turn 3 this, all of that, all of that.
That didn't go as
I must have had a lot of not super happy fun time in Hearthstone for me to be getting hands like this. Or it's just that the deck curves out like that, and it... deck simply curves like that, yeah. Turn 3 full board Death Rattle, yo.
that didn't
Oh no. Sheesh. And next turn we buffing it, surely. I will need him to make some trades here in order for me to actually have room for something like Hatchery Helper if I get it.
Swiftly.
What you doing there, step bro? Okay, something. What else you got? Somehow that's worse. Somehow it has GG in it. Let me still see. Well, that is still better. That is still better, but I don't have a way to actually get that thing down, so... guess this will have to do. This will have to suffice. Kinda brutal. Bit brutal, that one.
Lightning.
Cool story, Bob. What else you got, though?
Victory.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought, homeboy. He was not prepared for the nerfed Druid, apparently. Nerf when Blizzard. Oh, you just did? Didn't notice. Demon Hunter, haven't seen many of those. As soon as we play Aggro Druid, though, of course we will. What else would it be,
Fire
chat?
does more than burn.
What else could we possibly see once we play the Aggro class? Let's try like that. It's not that ideal, but against this guy, ramping would be a good idea, I think. Which means we're not going to be playing it on tempo. And there's nothing to write home about.
Either the Legion dies, or I die with it!
Welcome to the fight.
That ain't the worst.
Tucked in nice and warm.
It's okay. Doesn't feel great, but I'd rather these kinda live. It's unbelievable. That is literally unbelievable. In my darkest nightmares, I would not expect that to happen in a million years, but the game was like, yeah, dude, those are targets. Look at those eyes, look at those damn eyes. Why wouldn't you target them 6 times? Of course you did. Of course you did. Why didn't I think of that? Insane. Visibly insane, that one. As if that favorable matchup couldn't get any more favorable than that. Let me get this thing down. I need to get that cycle fast. Happy we got some playable. And dropping that. I'd rather wait and build it big. That was diabolical though. Diabol-sackable. Better do that right now. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Shadgar, you say? That's kinda insane. Let's do that then.
Unmatched power.
How to handle this?
Let's do this.
Now is the time to act.
Stay back.
Gives me 2. That was funny. That was hella funny, game. Funny top deck noises, that one.
Tucked in nice and warm.
funny. What else you got, Step Bro? What else you got? So that's how it's gonna be, is it? That is a cards. Okay, actually into that. I think we're actually onto something. Profit. Profit in it. You sure about that? You sure about that? Have you thought this through, buddy? That's what I thought. Silly game, don't try to counter me. Please? I beg? I don't want to have to work for these wins. Mandarin.
Fire does more than burn.
I'm down to give it a try. Not the best. Not the best.
Welcome to the world.
Speaking of not the best. That's nutty. Wouldn't mind innervate out top.
Welcome to the world.
Is this guy face? No, he discovered it. As long as he doesn't have Sylvanas, be pretty cool. Yo. Good Ember. No Sylvanas now, you hear? Would be considered cheating. Doesn't sound like Sylvanas to me. From where I'm from, you don't play Sylvanas that way. Jesus. Was kind of worried there for a second. You had tracking all along and you didn't play it? What the fuck, dude? Are you freaking kidding me? Well, in that case, I was gonna do this, but this is just better now. Over. It's It's over. Well, he could discover a 4/10 lifesteal bear right now, that'd be dumb. Yeah, he can't. Double tame pet still. Bites it with a passion.
Welcome to the world.
Farewell from the world. Week's been cooking, guys, in this economy. Oops, I forgot about the NERF, dude. Literally forgot about the NERF, dude. Get out, silly. I legit forgot about the NERF. He was not registering. I'm actually not killing him right now. Fuck. I might regurgitate. I might regurgitate.
Come to me, friends.
9-drop? What? That don't do much, chief. From where I'm from, that don't do much. It's alive on the board, not so much. Aside from that. What'd you cook, man? What did you do? Not again. Smack. Right in the schmacker.